Hello, everyone. Welcome to my video. My name is Travis Garrison. The first thing I want to do is give my Creator all the honor, glory, and praise. He's been with me every day of my life since I was 5 years old. I have talked to my Creator every day without ceasing. There's in His Word, it says to pray without ceasing. And when you are not when your mind goes idle, you should be praying, and I speak to him telepathically through my thoughts because that's how it began with Adam and Eve was through thoughts. There was no such a thing as words like language, but when they fell, they lost that communication with their creator. But anyway, this video's about, I had some discussions about um, the flat earth or globe earth because we all have been deceived. These schools are teaching your kids lies because the teachers were taught lies. But when you research the flat earth, there's no way that you can't change it, that you will not, that you will change your mind if you research it out doing the math, because God's the author of math. The Everything has a value, everything has a um, energy. So that has to be balanced out through mathematical equations. Some people say that I think they don't see it that way, but that's fine because I was deceived too. And it was, I can't say that I got mad at God, but when I turned like 50 years old, from 45 years old on up, I started waking up to the things that the world has taught us lies about. The church has taught you lies because they're deceived themselves. I ain't saying nothing bad about the churches because I grew up in church. My grandmother was loved the Lord. She went to church because she loved the Lord, loved Jesus Christ or Yeshua, and uh, and I know where she's at. She's in heaven. So I'm not saying nobody's going to a devil's hell because they're in the deceived churches. I mean, I believe that because there's no way everybody's been deceived. There's no way God is going to not let you go to heaven if you're deceived. But I think it's important in your progress because this earth is our test. This earth is our test, and the more you can find out about, I've always been one that I wanted the truth, nothing but the truth. I want the whole truth, and our minds have been programmed to believe. We accepted the reality that was handed to us, and basically about when I was probably around 50 years old, I started. My brother was really instru- he was really instrumental in me waking up. He come in. I was out there visiting my mom and him, and he come in there and he said, "Travis, man, there's a lot of people believe this Earth's flat." And he said, "I've researched it out, researched some of it." And he said, "Man, they got some good points about that, the Earth being flat." And I said, "Really?" Because I believed in the globe Earth. And there's no way mathematically possible that we could exist on a globe flying through outer space at a million point one 1.3 million miles an hour. There's no way this earth could stand up to that friction of the heat alone. So anyway, what I'm getting to is everybody's been deceived by our evil governments and the evil rulers of this world that we live in, and it's coming to a close. It's all around us. The fires in Canada, the flooding. I mean, it is just a catastrophe in a lot of places right now. The birth pains. That's what the Bible calls them, birth pains. That's what we're going through, and they're accelerating. I mean, it's everything's converging to a climax point, and I believe that's when the North and South Pole will switch places because we're in our cycle of Earth. King Solomon said, "There's nothing new under the sun." This cycle repeats itself. Now, like the deal about reincarnation, I was raised in church where, man, that was a dirty word. I'm not saying that we reincarnate like everybody thinks. we're in incarnation of each one of our ancestors. And your cells, your light cells, your blood has DNA in it, and that's where that information is stored. You can they're doorways. Your DNA memory from your ancestors is a doorway. And I've learned that you can access that information, some of it, and some of it you don't want to access, because all of our ancestors was not good people in our DNA. So there's doors you have to close. You can't open. You don't need to open some of these doorways into some of the memories. You want the memories that God intends for you to have. And when I say God, I'm talking about the Most High, El Elyon, Yeshua, Jesus Christ. He was God, came here as a human in the flesh. And folks, we live in a spiritual sacrificial system. Um, and if you don't want to figure out how we exist, there's a lot of physicists that say, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of frequency, vibration, and energy, because we're vibrating. And if I know there's a lot of people here lately has told me, man, this thing disappeared. It was sitting right there. It's because the vibration of that item went into a lower vibration and disappeared, because uh, or it may be a higher vibration. Now I don't have it all. I don't believe that I know everything, but I've learned a lot just by studying the science of our creation. So I'm still searching, for truth, and I don't. So we accepted the reality that were handed to us as truth. We have memory access to our ancestors through our DNA. They're doorways that you can access that information sometimes. When you want the truth, God will provide you access to your memory cells, because we're an incarnation all the way from Adam and Eve. And whether we reincarnate as, I don't, like John the Baptist and Elijah was of the same spirit. So Jesus said that John the Baptist, what is Elijah? The spirit of Elijah. So Jesus could have been talking about him reincarnated as Elijah, and maybe it was in Elijah in the lifetime before. So it's very possible, I think, that you could reincarnate like that. But I do know that we have the ancestor memory cells in our DNA that we can access. There's doorways, and some of us don't need to access. I don't need to access some of my memory, the memories of my ancestors, because not all of them are good. I don't trust them. I only trust in my Creator. I mean, I ain't saying that, because there was my family bloodline went through some very prominent people of the Old Testament, and maybe some in the New Testament too. But anyway, I'm just, um, I was going to show you something about the earth that we live on. Um, okay, this is the earth. How fast is the earth moving? It spins at a speed of 1,000 miles per hour and orbits the sun at about 67,000 miles an hour. That we're supposed to be spinning around the sun. Well, um, that speed alone right there, we could not withstand it. When you use common sense and you think of the friction that would, because movement creates heat, we would disintegrate at that speed, 67,000 miles an hour. There's no way. Now, I know God can, there's nothing too hard for God, but on the other hand, He give us common sense to use. Um, but let's go over here for a second and see a flat earth map. These are some flat earth maps from earlier. This is the very first one that came out. There's um, y'all look where my cursor is. There's four rivers right there that the Bible talks about, the creation of, that's the North and South Pole, really. That's beam that the beam that goes up to heaven that feeds us energy through our firmament. and through our skies. And I ain't saying that's a correct depiction of it, but these ancient people had, um, and I'll show you even the. Let me get back up to it. Y'all have to bear with me on this because I woke up sick this morning. This is the y'all see this map right here? That's United Nations map. That's what the Earth. They give you the information, but then they lie to you. They show you the information, then they lie to you about what's real and what's not. And here's another one. They're saying there's an ice wall. This is the circle of the Earth. God said He made the Earth. He took a compass. That's why the Masons have the square and compass as their logo, because God took a compass. He created four corners and set a compass down in the middle and made a circle. That's the circle of the Earth. Some people interpret that as a globe, the circle being a globe. It's not. And I think I can, hopefully that you can see this. And I'm just asking you to research this information because it's going to give you a stepping stone like I had, because this is one of the first things that I realized I'd been taught a lie about was the globe Earth. Because if you think about the Earth spinning, if you spin a top on the floor or on a table, the top of that is spinning faster than the middle of that top, like it's a ball, and you spin it. At the top spinning so fast, the time would be going faster up there than it is in the middle. And another thing, if you get in an airplane and you're going to fly to Florida, you at 500 miles an hour, you can never get there because the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles by itself. It's rotating supposedly, so you can never get to Florida going 500 miles an hour. You'd have to go 1,200 or 1,100 to ever make it to your destination. Anyway, I'm going to get on over here and read something. So there's a depiction of that map right there that first come out. This is land and stuff, but the reason I'm doing this is because we've all been deceived. I don't care who you are, whether you're a churchgoer, you're a pagan, you're a atheist, no matter what you are, we've all been lied to by the evil rulers of this earth, just like God's word says that there's a great deception. And I believe that the flat earth is part of the great deception. I don't believe it's a salvation issue, but I'm going to try to prove it again. I've done a video on this here, a year or two ago, but let's see what NASA says, how fast we're going. Earth is screaming through space at 1.3 million miles an hour because we're supposed to be in a solar system, and the sun is moving like 500,000 miles an hour. But in our whole solar system is moving 1.3 million miles an hour. And y'all, that is impossible. God gave us common sense to use, and that number is so astronomical, it would disintegrate before it ever even got, to 100,000 miles an hour. This is just what their lies are. And let's see what NASA, let me show you their logo. Y'all see their logo over there? It's a snake's tongue, and it's got a snaky, this is called the NASA. It's got a forked tongue, snake's tongue, see? Government agency. A snake's tongue, that's what it is. Y'all know how a snake flickers out its tongue? It's like two tongues. Like a good and a bad, maybe. I hate to word it like that, but that's kind of what it is. And so I'm saying that we've all been deceived. We've accepted the reality that was handed to us when we were a child. Let's see what NASA means in Hebrew, the first language. The first language that was created was Paleo Hebrew with Adam and Eve. NASA means, it's Nashah is the way it's pronounced in Hebrew. It's to delude or to seduce, to beguile, to deceive, greatly and utterly. So that's what NASA means. See, I mean, they show you these logos and these symbols, but then they tell you a lie. And the Earth is moving 1,000 miles, spinning 1,000 miles an hour, and at the speed of 67 around the sun. All right. Now, first thing I'm going to show you is everything's magnetic. Everything works off magnetics. And the star app here, it's going to show you. I'm going to show you. You can take your phone if you got the magnetics in your phone, and you can put on a star app, and you can point your phone up to a star, and it's magnetically controlled. And you can point, and it'll tell you the name of that star, and you can move your phone around to another star, and if you get that star in focus, it's going to tell you the name of that star because they're different frequencies, different magnetics to each star. Okay, and here's they tell you the north is up the North Pole. Right here, you see the north, east, and west. Let me put my cursors on it. North, east, and west. Y'all see this comet? There's a comet right over here. It popped up, Nishimura. The guy's name was Hideo. Hideo. Okay, that means man child of Revelation chapter 12, the man child. That stands for the man child right there. And there's other things in here I'm not going to go into, but what I was going to show you is the I'm going to take the atmosphere off the ground. I'm going to take the ground off here. The landscape. Okay. Here is the magnetics of our sky. Our sky is a canvas. The Bible says there'll be sign in the sun, moon, and stars. And it also says that the night uttereth speech. What does that mean? It means it's talking to us through frequency, vibration, energy, magnetics. It's speaking to us, and uh, and uh, and folks, Mars is the red dragon. There's more and more people coming out and saying that Mars is the red dragon. He's right here at the womb of Virgo right now. Mars, it's the red planet. Elon Musk even tells you the world knows more than the church does. And Elon Musk is telling you that he created a spaceship to go to Mars, and he's named it the Red Dragon. See, they know this stuff. The Vatican and them, they know all this stuff, and they kept it hid from us. And but anyway, I just want y'all to watch. This is called an ecliptic line right here, the magnetic line that the sun, moon, and stars follows. And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you this. And y'all see the sun moving, the stars are moving. That's the real truth right there. We're not moving. We're stationary. This earth is fixed and does not move. It's immovable. But y'all see how the sun is moving along with the stars. That's the first clue that you should study right here is why is it doing that? Because it's magnetics. It's through magnetic. There's not really such a thing as gravity. We're magnetized to this earth. And I'm going to ask everyone to do this on a clear night. Go outside and look and see how close these stars are getting to us. Imagine a bowl over us, a firmament, a vault over the top of us. And you look at the sides of those. Watch how fast the stars are going down right behind the trees now. They're coming in on us. Each side of this, you can imagine a bowl upside down sitting on you, and that bowl is getting littler and littler and littler. And we're programmed. I ain't saying there's an ice wall down there that surrounds the earth. I don't know. I haven't been there. A lot of people think there's an ice wall that holds in the water and stuff. But if you just say, for instance, the Big Dipper's right here on us right now at night. You walk up the road a little bit and you turn and look back at the Big Dipper and it's moved because it's programmed to your eyes. We're programmed with a free will somehow. And anyway, because this is we've all been deceived. But here, okay, one other thing is I'm going to show you, then I'm going to end this video because I'm not feeling real good today. But there's things that will show you the truth. You just have to research them out. God says search out every matter. And whenever my brother come in there and told me that one day, I mean, it was just like, well, for some reason, when he told me that some people think the Earth's flat and there's something to it, and I felt it right then. I felt, yeah, but I, I think I'm gonna research that because I'm thinking we're living on a spinning ball. But anyway, that's he was really. My brother's a researcher too. He searches out a matter. So, you know, I trust his research because I know him, and I trusted his research, and I thought maybe I better search that out. So anyway, okay, folks, y'all know they call elevation like the mountains, like Pikes Peak, 7,000 something feet above sea level, right there, sea level. They're telling you the sea's level, and there's other ways to prove with telescopes and stuff and powerful cameras that you can see that you can. The Earth is supposed to drop. I think it's 8 inches per mile. So if you go 20 miles, that adds up to a lot of feet. A top of a ship would be gone away if you're looking at it with your eyes. But when you put a telescope or a strong camera on it, the ship's still there because it hasn't fell. It hasn't dropped that 8 inches per mile, and you can do that yourself in bodies of water. So anyway, I want to go over here to elevation finder. I want to see what the water level is in every um, part of this world. Let me get this map bigger. All right, here's the United States right here. So you can click here because it's magnetic too. The water's magnetic. You know, you can click here and it'll bring you up a elevation 0 feet sea level. That is sea level, 0 feet. Y'all, I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but right down here at the bottom says the elevation. This is off the coast of California, 0 feet. Well, let's go over here to the East Coast. Elevation 0 feet. And let me go over here to like Asia, or let me get this a little bit smaller. All right, here's down here by South Africa. Let's click and see what the elevation there on the water. 0 feet. Y'all see this right here, 0 feet. So this is telling you right now that everything, the water is basically level, not curved. No, there's no curve in this earth. All right. And just to further prove what I'm talking about, you can go right here and click on the mountains. Elevation 1945, 6,381 feet. That's how high this mountain is above this water. And I'm going to click on the water again over here. 0 feet on the water, 0 feet. And for all you people that call yourself Christians, watchmen, go test this. Go test this. You will change your mind about the place we live. Go up and look at the stars and walk. Those stars are programmed to your eyes. They're programmed to my eyes. And and I'm and I was deceived once too. So hang on just a second. Anyway, I got to end this video. Something came up. So, but you okay? I'll leave a link to this in my description box. But you can go over to the United States and you can click on these mountains here, and it'll tell you the elevation, 9,780 feet, and the water level is elevation 0 feet. Thank y'all for coming to my channel, folks. We've all been deceived. Uh, I was I can't say I've never been mad at God, but I've questioned Him. When I was 50 years old, I said, God, ever since I was 5, I've talked to you and I've tried to do right. Every day of my life, I've tried to do right, and I was disappointed that I said, God, why did you let me be deceived? And it's so that I wouldn't think I would and I may appear to come off as a know-it-all sometimes to some people. I'm sure I do, because I had a cousin one time that asked me to go. A woman asked me, "Let's go drink some beer tonight, Travis." And I said, "No." She said, "Oh, you think you're better than us?" No, it's not that. That it wasn't that at all. You know, that wasn't my thoughts. I didn't think I was better than anybody because I have drank beer. And even at the time, I was like 20 years old when she said that to me, and and I probably went and drank beer that weekend with some of my other friends or something. So I'm no better than anybody else. I'm just saying we all been deceived, and we all have to have an open mind to what's the truth of this world and the lies that we've been told, because we've been told a lie, folks, and it's all part of the great deception. And I'm going to say this before I get off here. Listen, there's a mark coming that you're not going to either be able to buy or sell unless you take this mark. It's called the mark of the beast. And it could be in the form of the Greek letters. It could be in the form of English or Greek numbers. It can be in the form of English numbers. You better study this out about the mark of the beast coming, because it dooms your soul. You can no longer, because you have submitted to the worship of our enemy, Satan. So you need to. Everyone needs to research this out. One place in some of the older documents, it says 616. The Bible says 666, but it can be in the form of any kind of language. It may be in the form of, or it can be the name of the beast, the Antichrist. And that's his desire, to get man to worship him instead of our Creator. Thank y'all for coming to my video. I hope everyone has a great day.